Drew Edwards from UT Sports joins us, and now we're also joined by Tennessee strength coach Ron McKeefery. Coach, thanks for coming in tonight. The strength business now, it is 12 months almost every single day trying to get these guys bigger and stronger. It used to be back in the 60s and 70s, guys didn't even lift weights during the season. Now you're lifting 2 or 3 times a week, aren't you?
That's right. Well, most of the time in the off season, we're lifting 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And we're training hard, yeah.
So that's just it. It's about being bigger and faster and stronger, isn't it?
Well, you know, what we try to bring with our guys is a comprehensive approach to our training style. And so we talk about the components of athleticism, you know, speed, strength, power. But sometimes, you know, what gets missed is kinesthetic awareness and skill acquisition and balance and, you know, all the things that go into becoming a great athlete. And so that's really where I think the game has changed from the old, just the barbell and plates to now we're using force velocity plates and cognitive awareness training and different things along those lines to make it a comprehensive approach so that the athletes become the best, so that the weight room transfers to the field.
How did you kind of arrive at that philosophy? Because this is one that sort of is always on the cutting edge and things are always sort of evolving. How did you arrive at the point where you are now from a philosophy standpoint with the way you work guys out?
Well, you know, obviously it goes back to education. You know, I pride myself on being more of a scientist as opposed to just your typical meathead strength coach, to where everything that we put into our program is research and planned. And, you know, and so we spend a lot of time researching with the different trends in strength and conditioning. We turn around, we bring what works and what's proven to work into our programs and apply it to our guys. And so that they don't just become guinea pigs, that they actually know, that we know going into the situation that we're going to get the outcomes that we are looking for, provided we put in the work. And we talk a lot about effort and accountability, you know.
Ron, do you change it? Do you tailor it to each athlete, or you say this is the blanket for these guys and maybe tweak it for some, but pretty much this is the program and this is what you got to do?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, it's a, you know, football is a game that pretty much everybody has certain characteristics that have to be to play the rigors of competition. And so speed, strength, power, all those things physiologically, it doesn't change from athlete to athlete. So your bicep, my bicep, physiologically are the same. The principles behind training are the same. Now what we'll do is we'll tailor the methods in which, you know, we'll apply going into the situation where we'll tailor it to you so that you've provided that you walk out and you have the outcomes that we're looking for.
Yeah. One of the things that you see the cranes, if you're on campus over here, the new football training center, you know, you guys have got great facilities now, but there's going to be an even better one coming here shortly. Tell us about the new facility and kind of what that'll bring to your program.
Well, ultimately, what's great about that facility is the fact that we're going to be able to give the athletes more time back into their studies, back into being able to get away from the facility a little bit. When the situation that we're in now, we have to train in multiple groups, and so that, you know, that takes time from the athletes. Ultimately, though, what we're able to do is we're able to put in more of that types of equipment to where we can add more variety, more training more training methods to their training.
Is there a part of you that's kind of old school? Do you want to get them out there and make them chop wood or doing that kind of stuff? There's so much technology involved now.
Well, we'll use a lot of alternative types of training, and we do quite a bit within our program, in which, you know, everything from flipping tires to hitting tires with you know, hammers and things along those lines. So there is a little bit of an old school approach, but at the end of the day, it's taking all those methods, all those training philosophies, and applying them to each individual athlete and making it so that they maximize their potential.
Ron, I know that a lot of people that have kids playing youth football and they suddenly want these guys to be big and strong and fast. When would you recommend for parents that their youngsters should start maybe with a weight training process if they want to be a football player?
Well, again, going back to overall philosophy of training athleticism, I think that the best approach with dealing with the youth, and I have 3 kids,
yeah.
and you know, is to take the approach that let them become an athlete, let them become well-rounded, and then talking about visual awareness, you know, hand and foot coordination, you know, all those things are developed through playing baseball and hockey and football and gymnastics and a lot of those types of things. And so allowing them to do those different types of sports preps them to become successful whatever sport. In terms of growth plates and maturation and those types of things, typically about 14 years old. You know, typically about 14 years old before you add any type of external resistance
So kids that are playing Pee Wee football at first or second grade shouldn't be worrying about lifting weights. Just go play, right?
You know, my son, he's doing push-ups instead of, there's a funny story where he came in during spring break and he goes, comes right through, gives me a high five, goes right over to the chin-up bar and starts busting out some chin-ups, and that's what you want. You want them to be able to handle their body weight. And once they can do that and do that efficiently, then you can start to look to add some external resistance.
Ron, thanks for coming in tonight. And it's fascinating to watch you guys work in the weight room and how hard you work, because you see those guys out there all the time, and it's a constant thing. You can't take many days off if you want to be a real elite athlete, can you?
No question.
Ron, thanks for coming in.
Appreciate it.
Ron McKeefery, Tennessee strength coach, with us here on the Derek Dooley Show. We'll look ahead to MTSU when we come back in just a moment.